Hello, students and parents. I wanted to make a quick video to demonstrate some of the things that we've been doing for the last few years in terms of keeping track of our practice. Uh, what we do on some Mondays, most Mondays when we have band, so about once or twice a month, is we fill out this band progress journal. It's a great place to reflect on how you've been practicing. It asks you some simple questions like, have you been taking your instrument home every day, and what things have you been forgetting? What are you working on? And it gives some suggestions here, some really, really good ideas for what to work on for warming up, exercising your skills, what literature to practice, how to plan for your next practice, and how to have some fun by doing some variety and getting in a good cool down. It's just a good reflective place to um, kind of replace the idea of just practicing for a certain amount of minutes. That works great for some people, and what we want to do is kind of open this up and give kids a chance to start to do some analysis and figure out what's the benefit of practicing for a long time if um, they're not getting anything done. So maybe it's time to think about the quality of the practice time instead of the quantity. And so this journal tries to help do that. One of the interesting things we can do, because it's a Google form, is that we can go in and do some analytics here. So we can check it out. This is actually a summary of over 2,000 responses. So over the last few years, or actually this is I think last year, we can take a look at some of the stats here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Most students, it looks like 43% of students have been taking their instrument home every day. That's pretty good. And then some say most days. So that's pretty good. Good news. It's interesting sometimes when you look on a weekend, you go around the band area here. I came in on Sunday and counted over 100 instruments that were still here. But I guess that's okay, if people are busy. And we do have over 450 band students here. So that's not terrible. But have you been forgetting materials? Most people say no. The most common thing people forget is their blue book and brass. Bringing a towel. Sometimes people forget their instruments. 36 kids over the last 2 years. That's not too bad. We really want everybody to have all their supplies every time. And this kind of goes over everything people have been working on. Most common thing to do for warming up is long tones and breathing exercises, range exercises, tonguing exercises, posture, hand position. So the physicality of getting ready to play is really important. Exercises, scales are pretty common, band book exercises, chromatics, a lot of good stuff to do exercises. Literature, school band music, private lessons material, upcoming performance assessments, smart music assessments, those are pretty popular. I'd like to see more people doing morning ensembles, working on auditions, solo literature, stuff like that. Those are some of the other ones that you could check out. Planning, finding new music, pretty popular. Scheduling their practice sessions, doing research, comparing instruments for future upgrade and purchase. So looking at instrument upgrades, shopping for music. What variety have you been doing? Most people do sight reading or freestyling. Um, Playing along with tracks, that's a good thing. There's a lot on YouTube and Chromatic. There's an app for that. Listening to recordings, maintaining their instrument, and more long tones for cooling down, maybe some stretching, and just taking a chance to get everything back to normal before you finish your instrument. How good do you think you are? This is an interesting question I started asking. Most people say they're in the middle. 30 kids, about 5% of the this year, top third, they say they're in the top third of their grade, and they need to seek out more challenging enrichment. I should ask for more difficult music to play. Less than 1% said I'm in the bottom one third of the class. I need to seek help from my band teachers. So that's an interesting way to look at things. So most people have a pretty good perception of how they're doing. I would say that this might be a little bit inflated, but everybody's doing really well. We have a great group of kids, and everyone's practicing hard. How many total minutes have you been practicing? Most would say 100 minutes per week. Some would say less. The next most common would be 120 minutes per week, and then third place is things like 80 and 60. So you can see that most people practice 100 to 120 minutes a week, which comes out to, of course, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day is second place, 15 minutes a day. So you can see what's pretty common here. And it's good to know, because some kids think, well, I'm the only one practicing a lot. But it's actually, a lot of people are practicing, for example, here, 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 3 days a week, some 6 days a week. When you work on something, how many repetitions do you do? Most common is 6 to 10 times, 5 times, 10 to 25 times, 3 times. We've been talking in band about how repetitions can help you, and if you really want to be good at something, you should do something at least 25 or more times. And if you want to be able to perform something or be the best at it, we're talking 100, maybe even 200 times before you would perform something on a stage. So that's kind of our goal for when we practice music. Kind of breaks down to 10 or more, 25 or more, 50 or more, and then 100 to 200 times if you're going to really be the best at it. Was that enough time? All that practice time? Most people say it was pretty much enough time. A lot of people said, 30% said yes, definitely enough time. I'm proud and prepared. Band rehearsal is easy for me. And then some say, not really, I struggle. About 10% say I struggle and I need to get back on track. Commitments to improve, most people said I will practice more often. Some said I will practice for longer, and then a lot of people said other. And then here's a whole list of other things. I'm sorry, this is actually what parents have said about their practicing. So they should be asking you, parents, what are your opinions about how they practice? You guys are all experts as parents at building habits, breaking habits, and stuff like that. So these are commitments people said to how they're going to get better at performance assessments and player profiles. Definitely looking at who you practice with, why you practice, where you practice, how often you practice, who you get advice from. Definitely things to think about as you get older as a musician. This was a thing we did for a choice. We can skip that. What should I do because I get nervous? Most people say practice more, or perform for my family, or perform on video and watch the playback. Maybe perform for a friend, or perform for a stuffed animal or a pet, or invite someone over who makes me nervous to watch me play. So you can, anytime you want, you can come play for me. What category do you need to work on? So these are kind of the results of their test. Most kids, let's see here. Most kids, 32%, 46% of students are taking private lessons. 32% are doing smart music, and it looks like 23% are doing mentorship in our program with the high school. How often are you working on it? Most people are saying weekly. How's that working? Most people gave it a 10. And choice project stuff, most people are saying that they've done about 10 points. Some have done 50 points or more, and they build a plan for that. Here's how they're feeling about band. This is over 2 years. I love it. I hate it. I like it. Recently have changed to like, or other. I'm interested in what the other is. And then we're pushing students to think about this concept: unity, artistry, excellence, legacy, and fun. And what are they doing to lead themselves and lead each other in that direction of being unified as a band and a school community? And then what are they doing to be artists? How are they becoming excellent and being, doing excellent things in all of their life? And what kind of legacy are they leaving behind? What's their reputation? And then, of course, are they trying to have fun with each other and make everything fun in their life? So those are some of the interesting things that we find out about our music practice and our music lives when we take a super long journal format like this and analyze it. Thanks for listening. I hope it was interesting to you and it inspires you to practice a little bit more or do something a little bit different. Try something new, perhaps. Have a good night. Thanks.